Alright, this is part 2 of the S1H, S1I handout on trigonometry. So first, draw a diagram labeling the vertices and sides. I already drew it for you. Okay, and so now it says find the length of BC ramp. So we're trying to find the length of this line right here. And we know that's the hypotenuse of this triangle. Okay, and you know this angle is 8 degrees, ABC, so that hasn't been labeled. So ABC, this is 8 degrees. And we know the opposite side here is 1.35. So if I've got hypotenuse and opposite, I'm going to be using sine. So to answer question B, to find the length of the ramp, it's going to be sine of 8 degrees equals, let's just write it like this to show our work. Okay, so sine of 8 degrees equals the opposite side, which is 1.35, divided by the ramp. I'm just going to call it h. Okay, so we multiply h on both sides. Right, and then we divide both sides by sine 8. And then I get out my calculator, and so 1.35 divided by sine of 8 degrees, and we get 9.70 meters. And I'm leaving my answer in 3 significant figures. Don't forget to do that on the IB test. Okay, question C. Find the distance of AB. That's from here to here. Okay, and this is the adjacent side, right? So to the 8-degree angle. So let's do question C over here. Okay, so we got our 8-degree. We're trying to find this one, and we now know that this is 9.70. And we know this is 1.35. So we could do this a couple of different ways. I'm going to use tangent. So tangent of 8 degrees is opposite over adjacent. So we've got the opposite side, we've got the adjacent side. I could have used my answer from part B, and we could have used cosine, but let's just do it the way I've got it set up here. So opposite over adjacent, 1.35 over x. I've got x tan 8 equals 1.35. You might want to hit pause. X equals 1.35 divided by tan 8. And I plug that into my calculator, and I get x equals 9.6 meters. Okay, and it says to 1 decimal point, so that is 1 decimal point. Okay, next question. Okay, from his studio window at point A, okay, so there's a studio window there. Okay, there's my house. Okay, at which 6.5 meters above the ground. Okay, Tom views the top of the base of the building and the opposite side of the street. The angle of elevation and depression from the top and the base are 55 and 18 respectively. Find the height of the building. Okay, so angle of elevation means you're looking up, and that's 55 degrees. So this angle right there, and we know that that is 55 degrees. Okay, and then it says the angle of depression is 18, so that's the angle looking down. If you're depressed, you're looking down. If you're elevated, you're looking up. Okay, so, and we know that this height here is 6.5. So, if we know this is 18 degrees, we know this angle down here is also going to be 18 degrees. These are alternate interior angles. So, so those are going to be congruent. So, if I know this is 18 degrees, I know this is 6.50. Well, we're trying to find the height of the building, right? So let's find BD here. Okay. These triangles are congruent, so let's think of it as this way. Right, this is 6.5, this height here. This is 18 degrees, and we're trying to find, we need to find this distance from here to here. So either way, we're trying to figure out this distance right here, from here to here. So if that's 18 degrees, our opposite side is this. Our adjacent side is x. So if we're dealing with opposite and adjacent, oops, you can't see what I'm doing. If we're dealing with opposite and adjacent, we're going to be using tangent. So I'm going to write this as tangent 18 equals 6.50 over x. And we can rearrange this, and we get x tangent 18 equals 6.5. Divide both sides by tangent 18. X equals 6.5 divided by tangent 18. Plug that into your calculator, and x is 20.002 decimal points, right? Okay, now we need to find the height of the other triangle here. So the reason I found this distance here is for the other triangle here. We know the angle of elevation is 55, right? And now we know this distance here is 20.00, right? That was this yellow side here. And we're trying to find the height of the building. So I'm going to call this y. Okay, so this is also opposite of the angle that we know. And once again, this is adjacent. So we're going to be doing tangent 55 equals opposite, which is y, adjacent, which is 20. And so I can multiply 20 on both sides. I get y equals 20 times tangent 55. And you put that into your calculator, and you get y equals 28.56. So let's think about, what were we really trying to find in the first place? We're trying to find the height of the building, right? So we know that from here to here is 6.5 meters, or 50 meters, right? 6.50 meters. And we know that from here to here, now we know, is 28.56. And then you add those together, and your height of the building is equal to 28.56 plus 6.50, and we get 35.06 meters. Okay, next question. You may hit pause and look at this some more if you need extra time. Okay. The angle of depression from the top of a cliff to a boat is 17 degrees. So here you are on the top of a cliff. Okay, and the angle of depression. So if you're depressed and you're looking down, that means this angle here is 17 degrees to a boat. And the boat is 450 meters from the shore. Okay, so this distance here is 450 meters. Okay, draw the diagram, which we just did. Find the height of the cliff. So this height here is x. Okay, so there's a couple different ways you can do it. Once again, that's 17. I could say that this is 17 because those are alternate interior angles. And so now we can say, okay, this is opposite. This here is adjacent. So if that's opposite and adjacent, I'm going to be using tangent. Tangent of 17 is equal to x over 450. I can multiply 450 on both sides. X equals 450 tangent 17. And then we put that in our calculator, and we get x equals 138 meters. Okay, next question. You may want to hit pause if you need extra time. Okay, scientists measure the depth of the lunar crater by measuring the length of the shadow cast by the edge of the crater using photos. In the photograph, the length of the shadow cast by this crater is 606 meters, given to the nearest meter. The sun's angle of the elevation is 65 degrees. So, if this is 65 degrees, and we know the shadow is 606 meters, we're trying to find the depth of the crater. So how deep is the crater? Okay, so this is going to give me the depth of the crater. This is the shadow. This is the adjacent. This is the opposite. We don't know the hypotenuse, and we don't care about the hypotenuse. So we've got opposite, adjacent, so we're going to be using tangent. Tangent 65 equals opposite over adjacent, so x over 606. Multiply 606 on both sides. I get x equals 606 tangent 65. And then I put that in my calculator. X equals 1299.57. Round to the nearest meter. Because this is a 5, we round that up. So we get x equals 1300 meters. Okay. All right. Number 4. We're almost done. A hiker whose eyes are 1.6 meters above the ground stands 50 meters from the base of a cliff. The angle between the line connecting her eye and the top of the cliff and a horizontal line is 58 degrees. Okay, so here we are. Here's a cliff. Okay, and we have a hiker. Okay, and the hiker's eye is 1.6 meters. Okay, so this is the person's eye. There's the eyelashes. Okay, so there's the person's eye. They're 1.6 meters off the eye is 1.6 meters off the ground. Okay, stands 50 meters from the base of the cliff. So 50 meters from there to there. Okay, the angle between the line connecting her eye and the top of the cliff is 58 degrees. 58 degrees. And we want to know the height of the cliff. So we need this distance, and the height of the cliff is going to be x plus 1.6, because we have to account for the person's eye off the ground. Okay, so we've got opposite from the angle, we've got adjacent to the angle. We're going to be using tangent. Okay, so I'm going to say tangent 58 degrees equals opposite over adjacent, x over 50. So multiply 50 on both sides, x equals 50, tangent 58, and then we get x equals 80.01 in the calculator. So the actual height equals 80 plus 1.6, and that's going to give me 81.6 meters. And that's to 3 significant figures. There you go. Hit pause and replay if you need help checking other answers.